The ranch was quiet, surrounded by the endless stretch of fields and the whisper of wind moving through dry grass. It was here that a lonely rancher named Samuel spent most of his days. Life had not been easy for him. Years of labor, loss, and solitude had carved deep lines on his face. He had once dreamed of a family, but fate had dealt him differently. He had accepted his loneliness, filling the void with work, cattle, and the sound of horses' hooves echoing across the valley. One evening, Samuel traveled into town to sell some livestock. It was there, outside the old tavern, that his life would take a turn he never expected. A drunken man staggered on the porch, dragging a small girl with him. Her clothes were torn, her face pale and her eyes wide with fear. The man shouted angrily, shaking her by the arm. "She's useless," he muttered to the crowd watching. "Born deaf, can't hear a thing. What good is she? I can't feed another mouth. Who wants her?" "Take her!" The town fell silent. A child being treated like cattle was a sight that made even the coldest hearts uneasy. Yet no one stepped forward. People averted their eyes, muttering, unwilling to interfere. Samuel, however, could not turn away. He looked at the girl who stood trembling, clutching her hands tightly together as if bracing for a blow. In that moment, something stirred inside him, a protective instinct he had long thought was gone. "How much?" Samuel asked, his voice steady. The drunkard blinked, surprised. "You serious?" "She can't hear you. Nothing but a burden." Samuel pulled some bills from his wallet, more than enough to make the man's eyes light up with greed. Within moments, the exchange was done. The man shoved the girl forward with a cruel laugh and stumbled back into the tavern. Samuel knelt down, meeting the girl's eyes. "You're safe now," he said gently, though he doubted she could understand. She only stared at him with cautious curiosity, silent and unmoving. Back at the ranch, life began to change. The girl, whose name was Anna, was withdrawn at first. She avoided eye contact, moved carefully as though afraid of punishment, and never spoke a word. Samuel gave her space, allowing her to explore the ranch at her own pace. He provided clean clothes, warm meals, and a small room of her own. Slowly, she began to settle in, though she still carried an air of silence that weighed heavily. Samuel learned to communicate through gestures. He would point, smile, and nod, and Anna would respond in kind. She loved the horses, spending hours stroking their manes and whispering to them, though Samuel assumed it was just the movement of her lips without sound. At night, she would sit by the window, gazing at the stars, as though searching for something far beyond reach. Weeks passed, and Samuel began to